Hey everybody, hope everybody's doing good. Um, just wanted to do a little video on the 8X 2.0. I have the 8X 2.0 that you're seeing right now, and I also have the 8X E 2.0. The reason I'm doing the Nitro version is because I feel like there are more things that need to be covered with the Nitro version. I'll go ahead and start on the first thing. If I sound tired, it's because I am. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and get into it. The first thing that I want to address is the brake caliper space for the discs. Basically, the brake pad space, I guess, really is what I should say. The manual does not have a spec for this in it. It was left out, probably by accident. Unfortunately, when I first built this kit, I went ahead and I set these at 5 millimeters. Let me get this out of the way. What happens if you don't set it exactly at 4.5? There are plastic guides for these discs, and they will go sideways in the guide because the actual pad itself keeps this disc upright, and so if you don't have these set precisely at 4.5, you'll have it'll bind, your disc will actually bind up on that guide, and it is not good. It will rob you of power, and to be honest with you, it was kind of one of those gremlins that I was trying to figure out what was going on, because I thought I had those set pretty darn good at 5, but a friend of mine told me what the spec was after I figured out what was going on. Anyways, life goes on. Hopefully the next one they do, they won't leave that spec out of the manual, because that is a pretty big deal. So, we're going to do the stock stuff first, before I get into any modifications I've done. I don't know. I guess you can kind of call what I'm about to show you a modification, but not really. So, going to the back here, you can see I have 2 set screws where those mud guards are supposed to go. Those are stainless steel. I put those in there because if you don't, you'll get dust inside your arm. If you run on a dusty track, if you take these covers off, you're going to find a bunch of dust in here. Unless, of course, you actually have a mud guard on here, and then you won't. But I chose not to rerun mud guards. I think there is a part for that. My kit didn't come with them, unless I'm totally overlooking something, but as far as I know, it didn't come with it. There's also a different end that you can put here that I haven't put on yet, that I'm planning on putting on. It's just an angled one. Okay, in the second place you're gonna get dust is underneath this brace. there is a void. It will accumulate dust. So what you can do, this looks like dirty silicone because it is. Basically what you want to do is fill that void with silicone, like shoe goo or something equivalent to shoe goo, and that'll keep the dust from settling. You can see, and instead of having a bunch of dust in there, you'll have brown silicone, which I think is better than having a bunch of dust in there personally, but that's just me. So let's see, this thing's not the cleanest, but it is what it is. Okay, so now we get into the modifications. I guess you could call that a modification, but it's not much of one. I recently had a digital switch fail on me. It didn't fail in that it turned off. It failed in that I could not get it to turn on and off when I wanted it to. So a friend of mine said, hey, get yourself a clinic. So that's what I did. Now, a clinic is just a switch eliminator. So after you've installed the clinic, you just use this plug, and it's just a bridge, so there's no more switch. You plug this in, it turns on. You unplug it, it turns off. To install one of these in here, you will need to Dremel the opening for the stock switch. Well, I guess I'll say a universal switch is what this is made for. You'll have to Dremel that open almost to the point where you kind of are getting close to these screw holes. So you have to be really careful when you do that. Once you do that, once you're done with that, if you see this tab right here that's on the clinic itself that butts up against the plastic box, here we go, there you go, yeah, you can kind of see it better now. Okay, there's one on the bottom. You're going to want to Dremel that a little bit. You don't have to Dremel it completely off, but you're going to have to do it a little bit just to get it to go in. And then what I did after I installed it, one more thing. One of these holes, you're going to have to Dremel that way to kind of make like an oval shape, because this doesn't, the holes in this box for the universal switch, they are not the same as the I guess the length of this. You'll see what I mean. So that's pretty much it. And once you do that, you install it. What I did, I took shoe goo, silicone sealant, something like that, and I sealed it up so that dust wouldn't get in, and so that these screws don't back out, which is not likely, but it's always good to be safe. Okay, so there are a couple more things that I would call modifications. What I want to talk about is this front center drive shaft. When this is stock, meaning you don't have any O-rings in these outdrives, This shaft actually, you can move it pretty far. There's a lot of play in it, and it's excuse me, and it's enough play to where the shaft is like basically at the end of this outdrive. So you know, if you had enough flexing, I'm not saying that it's likely to come out, but the way that I looked at it, I decided, yeah, we need to put O-rings in. I went ahead, I put one O-ring in here and one in the center outdrive. So I will try to put the size of the O-ring in the comment section. But basically, it's just any O-ring that you can get in there that will actually sit up against the back of the outdrive without moving around much is kind of what you're going for. Okay, and let's see, there was one other thing that I wanted to, something on the back, but I can't remember now. Oh yeah, so the manual does say to put a boot on that, but I don't run a boot because that is why I don't run a boot. I don't want that to catch. Okay. Again, I apologize for how tired I am right now, but it is what it is. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to say was Losi has the locking servo saver nuts listed as an optional part. Now, one of the problems that you get with these is that when you screw the screw in to lock this, some of this aluminum material kind of bows up, and if you have that in the wrong place, like say you have this thing, you know, like let's say like I can't get it to go that far, but say you have this underneath here, this brace, it's definitely probably gonna rub. Now what I did is I took sandpaper, you just smooth this down and take off some of this material, and this won't rub. Now this didn't rub initially on my nitro car at all, probably because this never got clear over here to begin with to rub, but on my electric car it did rub. It rubbed, and it wasn't even because of this lump, it was just because this was just too thick. So go ahead, sand this down, the top of this, and tighten this down good. I mean, I guess to whatever your preference is for servo savers. I tightened mine down completely. I mean, I pretty much locked the crap out of them. So, that basically concludes. Well, does it? Okay. I guess one more little thing. This isn't in the manual, I don't believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just a little plate that keeps your wires neat and nice. So that's, you know, that's what I'm using it for. That's what I believe it's for. If it's not, I would be shocked because I have no idea what else it would be used for. I am using it on my electric car. There's two right here. It actually makes like kind of a good little like motor cradle. And again, I don't know if that's what you can use it for, but that's what I'm using it for, and it works great. So maybe it is designed to be multi-purpose. I have no idea. So with that being said, that is all I have. Let's see, trying to think of anything else. I do not believe there's anything else to talk about. Oh, I will say with this battery, I did go ahead, double-sided foam taped it to the battery box. I'm not going to show that right now. And then there's also another thin layer of foam up top. So, all right. Well, I'll go ahead and shut this receiver box up. And if you have any questions or comments, go ahead, let me know. And as you can see, I don't have shocks on the car currently. On either of them, actually. I'm doing some shock stuff, and if that works out, I will post a video on that. So, pretty excited. Hoping that everything works out this weekend with those. So, all right. Have a good day, evening, morning, whatever, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.